Welcome to Sleep with Myth. Close your eyes and let the world fade away. Tonight we drift beyond time, where gods dream and stories remember their light. The village that slept beneath a broken sky, long before lightning learned the names of towers, before iron learned to bow into swords and wheels, there was a village that slept at the edge of a wounded sky. The people called it Caradon, the place where thunder forgot its voice. Once the storms over Caradon had been glorious. Black clouds rolled over the valley like slow-moving mountains. Lightning poured from the heavens in blinding rivers, splitting trees and kissing hilltops with fire. Now the sky above Caradon was quiet, too quiet. Children grew up never hearing the sky roar. Old people wondered if they had dreamt the storms of their youth. And the valley itself felt like a room where laughter had gone missing. The boy who loved silent clouds. In this quiet village lived a boy named Aaron. Thin, gentle, often breathless on steep paths, he spent his days not in the hills or the river, but at the forge of Darren the blacksmith. Aaron watched the hammer rise and fall, saw sparks fly like fragments of captured stars, felt something warm and aching inside him. The forge was a tiny storm. Darren once told him, "The forge is a tame thunder, a hearth shaped like a roar." Aaron wondered what an untamed one felt like. The forge that remembered storms. At night, when the village slept, Aaron swore he heard something inside the flames, a low, distant rumble, like thunder dreaming beneath the coals. He asked Darren about the old storms. Darren smiled sadly. "The sky has been quiet too long. It forgets its own power." But Aaron felt something watching, waiting, breathing behind the quiet. The dream that might not have been a dream. One night he returned to the forge, expecting darkness. Instead, white gold fire burned fiercely inside. Lightning danced within the flames, and on the anvil lay a piece of metal he had never seen. Drawn by instinct, Aaron lifted it with tongs and placed it into the impossible fire. Thunder whispered. The metal transformed, shaped by invisible hands, pulled into the form of a small bird. When he touched it, he felt a spark, gentle, questioning. The Iron Sparrow, the breath of thunder. By morning, the forge was quiet again. Darren found the small bird on a shelf. "I don't remember forging this," he murmured. He placed it in Aaron's hands. "Keep it. Maybe it'll remind the sky of something it forgot." Outside, for the first time in years, a soft rumble drifted across the valley, thunder turning over in its sleep. Aaron clutched the Iron Sparrow to his chest. Something had been forged, and someday it would learn to fly. The morning that listened too closely. The next morning rose trembling with attention. The sky leaned over Caradon, listening. For the first time in years the air tasted metallic, like distant rain or old lightning waking. Aaron sensed it watching him. He reached for the Iron Sparrow. Cool, still, but not dead. A sleeping spark lived inside it. When he stepped outside, the sky grumbled faintly, a memory of thunder clearing its throat. The blacksmith who heard a ghost. At the forge, Darren scrubbed the anvil with worry. I keep hearing something, he muttered, like storms trying to remember themselves. Before Aaron could answer, a sharp crack echoed in the workshop. Warmth pressed through Aaron's cloak pocket. The sparrow was waking, the bird that breathed without air. Darren lifted the sparrow. Its iron veins glowed faintly, pale light flowing like quiet rivers. It's warm, he murmured. Metal shouldn't stay warm overnight. The sparrow breathed, a tiny inhale from inside the iron. Darren stepped back in fear. Aaron whispered, "It's dreaming." The sky that flinched. Clouds gathered above Caradon. Thin sheets pulled together by unseen threads. The villagers watched the trembling sky. Strange weather. Is the old god waking? Tahir, the elder, whispered. The sky is listening to something. The legend that would not stay buried. Aaron was summoned by the elders. You were near the forge last night, Tahir said, and the sky broke its silence this morning. They told him an old truth. Long ago the thunder god forged creatures of metal and skyfire, iron sparrows, bronze ravens, gold-feathered kestrels, the children of the sky. When the god fell silent, they fell asleep. Tahir's gaze cut into Aaron. Did something wake in the forge? Aaron closed his eyes, lightning twisting around metal, thunder whispering, warmth in cold iron. Yes, he whispered. It woke. The elders did not fear the answer. They recognized it. The iron sparrow that heard its name. Back at the forge, the sparrow sat on the anvil facing the open window, listening. It moved, metal bending softly. Aaron felt its answer. Not yet, but soon. The sky made a sound, a distant memory stirring in sleep. A thread formed between sparrow and thunder. The bird needed something, a spark, a calling, a storm. But the sky was broken. Aaron held the sparrow to his chest. I'll help you wake, he whispered. Far away, mountains rumbled, a heartbeat remembering how to roar. The first flight attempt. Night fell starless. The sparrow spread its wings, metal whispering softly. It leapt, rose half a hand into the air, held there in a trembling shimmer of pale light, but the memory of falling shocked through its body. The glow flickered. It dropped onto the anvil, a soft metallic tap. You tried, Aaron soothed. You're close. A thin bolt of lightning looped inside the clouds, a lost thread searching for the earth. The forge that promised tomorrow. Aaron wrapped the sparrow gently and stood. The sky outside was dark but hopeful. A faint tremor passed through the valley, a distant heartbeat, a forgotten god trying to wake. Tomorrow the sky would try again. Tomorrow the sparrow would rise higher. The morning the clouds refused to leave. Caradon woke to a morning that felt unfinished. The sun rose, but its light never reached the ground. Clouds pressed over the valley like a sky holding its breath. The earth trembled faintly under Aaron's boots. It was the heartbeat of a waking sky. The forge where the air listened. Inside the forge, light breathed softly from the iron sparrow. A steady, awakened glow. The air hummed, deep, resonant, alive. Darren whispered, "It's him, Rahel, the thunder god, remembering himself. The sparrow that stood like a soldier." The sparrow moved with purpose, head lifting, wings unfolding with metallic precision. Not trembling, not hesitant, remembering. The sky began to gather its name. Thunder murmured through unmoving clouds. Villagers whispered in fear. "This is not a storm," Tahir said. "This is a memory. The sky is trying to recall its own name." The call that came from above. A pull came from the ceiling of the world. The sparrow brightened until shadows fled. A low hum rolled across the hills, thunder pronouncing its first word in centuries. The second flight, a moment of miracle. Aaron placed the sparrow in the center of the forge. It launched, rising a hand's width, floating on memory and ancient power. 3 perfect seconds in the air before falling into Aaron's hands, tired but shining. The sky that almost broke open. Lightning twisted inside the clouds, searching for the spark awakened below. "He remembers," Tahir whispered. "His children." The forge that became a threshold. The sparrow rested, weak but warm. Aaron felt their connection, bird, boy, storm. Tomorrow the sparrow would rise higher. Tomorrow Rahel would try again to speak. A god stood on the edge of waking. The valley where every sound held its breath. Caradon felt different. Silence thickened like threads stretching from earth to sky. Aaron held the Iron Sparrow close, its pulse like a quiet promise. The sparrow that could feel the sky think. The forge hummed with Rahel's presence. Darren whispered, "Don't let it burn you." Aaron replied, "He isn't angry. He's lonely." The sky's first word. The clouds spoke a half-remembered name. A low RHHHHH rolled across the valley. Villagers fell to their knees. The sparrow shook with recognition. The forge became a gate. A strange wind circled the bird. His feathers glowed gold, dawn trapped in iron. "You're ready," Aaron whispered. The sparrow answered with a silent, grateful pulse. The third flight, and the first true one. The sparrow rose, truly flew, climbing as if gravity were only a suggestion. 3 perfect seconds in the air. A miracle. It descended with purpose, not exhaustion. The moment Rahel fully remembered. The sky opened in a vertical seam of light. A whisper followed. Rahel. The god remembered his own name. The god who touched the earth without breaking it. A ribbon of golden lightning descended gently. It touched the sparrow with recognition, not destruction. Visions filled Aaron's mind. Storms, flight, memory, silence, and return. Rahel's voice brushed Aaron's thoughts. "Little wing, wake fully." The sparrow that became what it was meant to be. The sparrow rose, circled Aaron once, and followed the lightning into the sky. The seam closed softly. A single golden feather drifted into Aaron's hand. Not goodbye. SOON. The valley that heard thunder again. The clouds thinned. Stars returned. A gentle rumble crossed the sky. Not warning, but gratitude. Aaron whispered, Goodbye, holding the warm feather to his chest. Thank you for listening to Sleep with Myth.